This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verses 1 and 2. Verse 1, and it reads, Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahak HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashar Barzal with the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, I got this video coming up. It was actually put in the chat by one of our elders this morning, and I dug into it a little bit deeper to get more information on it. Actually, this is bill that is going to affect homeschoolers that are also gun owners. And you know what it is. It's primarily going to, if you homeschool someone and you own a gun, this law is going to make your home, your home that you live in, if you're homeschooling, is going to make it a school zone, which makes guns illegal, and you will be committing a felony if you own guns. And you know, you got to think back. You know, this Esau Edom is wicked. They knew when they proposed the fact that teachers should have guns in the schools to protect the kids from school shootings. They knew that was not going to fly with the American public. All right. So here they come now with this law. you know, that whole proposal was really an okey doke, and it is. But here again, you know, we know the laws that they use to uh, affect all Americans are going to work heavier on Jake. And we're seeing this, you know, but that's also on the flip side, you know, as 2024 was declared the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble by Apostle Tahar, you know, as, you know, Jacob is going through it, you know, the rest of the world is going to be going through it too. The thing is, Jacob is somewhat is used to adversity more than anyone on this planet. Number one, we were never American citizens when this shithole was founded. Okay, that wasn't until the 14th Amendment. You know, which wasn't that long ago. All right. As I put in my previous video, this place is not our rest. Babylon the Great is not our rest. So without further ado, I'm going to get to the videos. But before that, as always, I have to do the disclaimer, the Fair Use Act. And it reads, fair use is a doctrine in the United States law that permits limited use of copyrighted material without having to first acquire permission from the copyright holder. Section 107 of the Copyright Act provides the statutory framework for determining whether something is a fair use and identifies certain types of uses, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, as examples of activities that may qualify as fair use. In the doctrine of fair use, the law permits limited use of copyrighted material without a sanction from the copyright owner. It provides the limitations to copyright to balance the interests of the copyright owner and the public distribution. It is otherwise considered an infringement of copyright. All right, so here's the first video.
Well, they just keep attacking and attacking the American people. That was a nice catch. Anyways, so they're trying to push a bill through that would state if you are homeschooling your child, that your house would now be considered a school zone And for all you Second Amendment, all of us Americans have the Second Amendment, that would make your house a gun-free zone. And if you kept your weapons, then felony for an American citizen trying to homeschool their child, because the school system has become so dirty that none of us want to put our children in it anymore. I am so finished with these people. They're getting inching just a little bit close to our children now, and you know, it was a little bit easier to sit back when they were just hitting us, but now they're hitting our children. We ain't gonna have it. No, we're not. It is a Missouri bill. It's a Senate Bill 727 in Missouri right now. So go check it out. Insane. You know, I've gotten a lot of replies about I don't see this in the bill or whatever, but it's a revision that happened in Senate Bill 727, and it's unintentionally raised concerns among gun owners who provide homeschooling in their residences. The bill, which primarily aims to redefine educational entities for the purposes of state laws, includes a redefinition of home as schools under this new Missouri statute, thereby implicating firearm regulations. The controversy stems from the inclusion of the revised definition of homeschool to mean any school. This introduces a conflict with Chapter 571 .030, I think that means Section 10 after, of the Missouri statute, which makes it a felony to possess a firearm in any school. So it's kind of like, yeah, you don't read it like word for word in the bill, but you got to kind of read between the lines, and this is just maybe a step one of what is going to happen. I hope that clears up some things. I tried to write it down so I could understand a little bit better myself, but hope that helps.
All right. I did some looking on this, and it's talking about homeschooling, and just gonna look at how that was affected. Watch this. Watch this. You see that red line? That was how the homeschooling jumped from 2019 and 20 to the end of 2023. So it is way beyond where it started in 2017. All right. Well, yeah, that red line. I mean, it is it's saying a lot. And you know how Esau is when it comes to the guns. She looked real worried, very worried. I'm gonna slide down in this article. And what I did when I got this article is from the Washington Post. I'm not signing in, but I simply typed in a question on Google: how many kids are homeschooled in the United States? All right, and this is what it came up with. So that bill, if it leads to exactly what she said it's going to lead to, it's going to be huge. And like I said, now that I know what it is, I will put the link to the bill in the comment section of this video. All right, just scroll down here. Like I said, this is from the Washington Post. I'll put the link in here as well too for that. And here's another graph by state. And this is just an increase from 2017, since the 2017-18 school year. Now, when you look at these numbers, I haven't gone through this. You can read the article yourself. These lower states with the lower percentages, there's no telling at what percentage they were at prior to this. So places like Delaware, Mississippi, down to New Mexico could have been high already, and they just increased a little bit more since then. So that's something to take into consideration. All right. So, yeah, if that bill hits as she's saying it is, then yeah. But once again, as for these laws, we know when the laws hit all of America, they hit Jake a little bit harder, which again, you know, um, that's just part of what the nation of Israel, once again, who are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are going to have to deal with here in the United States as we endured Jacob's trouble, which is why it is imperative for you all to take heed to what the prophets of GMS and those who are teaching a like doctrine are, teaching on the highways and byways week in and week out, and on the video epistles throughout, around the clock, 24/7, 365, because eventually this, with the famine of the word, these are going to go away too. Just saw some videos about, how, well, we know we did a video on Canada with Bill C-367, what that clown Schwab was talking about as far as people who are teaching anything against their agenda should be treated as the T word, the T to the E to the R to the R to the O to the R to the I to the S to the TS. If you can spell that, okay. Yeah, those are the things that we have to do. But once again, like I said, Esau's getting a little worried about what's going on. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, beginning at verse 5. And it reads, His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all of his enemies, he puffeth at them. And that's the thing. His ways, what are his ways? His laws, his draconian measures, all of his legislation, are grievous, that like the scriptures say, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Okay. Now let me get that just so I won't butcher it. I want to make sure it's correct. You know, Proverbs 29:2, and it reads, "When righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." The righteous being the Israelite, and we're not in rulership right now. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, and that's what you have right now. Okay, going back to Psalms, and you see that with these small hatters being in rulership. Okay, they're running the government right now. Everyone else is just puppets. All right, just like that interview um, with that called Hidden Tyranny done in 1976 between Charles White and Harry Wallace Rosenthal. The U.S. hasn't had a president since 1932. Okay, and you got to think. It only makes sense. There's that when you go to vote, that ought to tell you something. That is the only office where one can lose the popular vote and still win. All right. And their successor is picked too. All right. So, anyone who understands anything about Robert's Rule of Order and things of, the parliamentary procedures, you should already know something is foul about that. All right. Going back, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. He doesn't consider the Most High. He doesn't think he think he's going to get away with everything. All right. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Well, who are his enemies? All right. Number one is the Israelites. Okay. Number one, we know that they're the ones, Amalek, the small hatters, the 1948ers, they play a huge role namely APAC, play a huge role in um, the laws that are being made. At once upon a time, who was it? I think it was one of the Rothschilds. It says, "I care not who makes the laws as long as I control the money." Well, through their system organization APAC, they control the laws now too. All right, and it said, "As he puffeth, as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them." And the number one enemy is Israel right now. Okay, the number one enemy. I'll say it again. That woman, Judith Varney Shora, who was counsel for Israel, said on American soil, the number one problem for the state of Israel is the black youth of America. Okay? The black youth of America. Now, I'm not getting sidetracked. I'm just, trying to prove a point here. Okay? So the thing is, if that's the case, again, this is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. If it's coming down hard on us, other people are going to get it too. All right. So once again, we are his number one enemy, but guess who else? This is the book of Sirach, which is in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 14, verse 5. And it reads, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods." And this is talking about Esau Edom. When it says he that is evil to himself, okay, that's Amalek. His nation is Edom. Okay, he's evil to his own people. That's why you see that Edomite in the video. Edomite woman kind of flustered about what's going to happen. Okay, he shall not take pleasure in his goods. This dude is not. He has the whole world. You know, according to Job 9:24, and he's still not happy with everything. He's still not satisfied. He won't be satisfied until everything is destroyed. Which most likely is, even himself. You know, he's not happy. All right. So yeah, this that's why, once again, when the laws come hard on America, they're going to hit Jake harder. But as for the elect, we know that our warfare is not carnal; it's all spiritual, and we have to wait upon the Lord. Those who trust in Him, He's going to defend them. All right, His elect. Talking about His elect. You 2/3, you just fucked over anyway. All right. Going back to Psalms chapter 10. All right, and verse 7. Oh, verse 6. He has said in his heart, "I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity." All right, and he can do that because once again, Job 9:24, the earth is given into his hands. He's making all the laws right now. You know, at the drop of a hat. Okay, making sure he will never be in adversity. And with these laws, with this Second Amendment, this lady was saying, we're gonna be ready. Ma'am, you have no idea. You know, there's a reason that they cut out lead paint. It wasn't that much children were eating it. All of their capabilities and technologies, the lead will be blocking that. All right. They have technology now. They don't even have to come into your house. They've shown you the infrared scans. They've shown you the nanotechnology that can slide through under your door in the slightest crack, and turn into something. They don't show you that stuff in movies for nothing. They have all that technology. Best believe whatever they let allow to be sold uh, um, in the general public. When you're dealing with that's the thing with Esau Edom. He is always going to have the upper hand when it comes to that weaponry. So 9 times out of 10, well, I say 1,000%, he's not going to sell you something that you can beat him with. You know, those robots, dogs, AI, that they never have to enter your house. And on top of that, they know who has weapons registered or not. All right. And with that law, if it passes and goes across the entire United States, you know, you the parents, obtain a felony, and depending on where you are, you're going to jail. If you go to jail, obviously you can't pay your mortgage. Can't pay your mortgage, you lose the house. These are things that you have to consider. All right. He's going to never be in adversity as long as he's in power and making the laws. Verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And, I'm going to, that cursing, I'm going to go with that deceit. Like I said, they knew when they proposed that the teachers have guns inside the school that it wasn't going to fly well. All right. They knew that wasn't going to fly. They knew it. All right. And now look at what you got. So they work backdoor. If you're going to be schooling at home, we already know that schools are no gun zones. Okay, we'll make your home one. All right, that's how they're going to get at you. You know, like the scriptures say, this he's wiser than Daniel. All right. So and that's that. That's those laws. That's how they're going to get you. That's how they're going to get you. All right, and you know, um, it's going to be something to look forward to. Because it's once Esau gets mad about his guns, a whole lot of stuff it's gonna have a ripple effect. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 20. All right. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frame mischief by law? Okay. Verse 21. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn innocent blood. And, this is talking about Jake. All right. But once again, the laws that are made for Babylon the Great, aka America as a whole, are going to impact Jake harder. Okay. Harder. Because remember, we were never considered citizens under that original Constitution. Okay. I don't care what that 14th Amendment says, and we know, when you look at going to the the law dictionaries, the word black, you're not considered a citizen anyway. All right, those names are not in there. All right, so it's going to be harder on Jake. All right, but here again, that those laws are going to affect everyone else. And like I said, frame mischief by law. They backdoored the whole um, taking away your Second Amendment rights. With this homeschooling, and you saw via that graph how that went up. Okay, how much homeschooling is in the United States. All right, it's a lot. All right. But we know, the reason why he's doing this stuff is because we know, according to Job 14 and 5, the number of his days are determined. He has bounds that he cannot pass. They know the Lord is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is coming back real soon. All the signs are there, you know, and we keep revealing that, keep harping on that week in and week out on the highways and byways. Okay, they know the Lord is coming back. All right. And in addition to that, what's that? Revelations 12 and 12. You know, he's going to come down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time. Yeah, yeah, his time is almost up, and we got next. All right, we got next. But once again, his elect are not going to be moved. We're not going to be dismayed because we, see everything that he does and filters it through the scriptures. All right. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. And it reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right. And, Satan is not going to get advantage of the elect, okay? Because we know we are to be diligent, you know, to make the calling of our election sure, all right? And when we're working towards that, the Lord is going to reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. What is his secrets? That knowledge and wisdom and understanding of those prophecies, okay? He is trusting that in his prophets, okay? And we know, according to Wisdom Solomon 1 and 4, wisdom is not going to enter a malicious soul, all right? So while we're, studying every day, having faith every day, praying every day, fasting as much as we can, you know, we know he's not going to leave us out there, okay? He's going to keep revealing those things to us, especially these prophecies. And I'm going to close out with this one. This is Second Esdras. It's in the Apocrypha. Esdras, who is the same as Ezra. Esdras in the Apocrypha is the same as Ezra in the Old Testament. Second Esdras chapter 15, beginning in verse 14. And it reads, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. And that woe means destruction. Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and their swords in hands. And the modern day sword is the gun. Okay? It's about to get nuts out here. Because remember, a lot of states passed laws just before and during the pandemic that you didn't need a permit to have any. And then we know how Esau put truckloads of firearms in underprivileged, underserved neighborhoods, in Jake's neighborhoods, to be more specific. Okay, so it's a lot of them out there. Okay, a lot of them out there. All right, and those people fighting against one another. You're talking about that civil war. All right, here's the point. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 16, and it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their powers." So that sedition is a rebellion, okay? An uprising among men, invading one another, okay? Each other. And they will not regard their kings nor princes. That's your rulership, which is, your modern day government at any level, you know, at any level. That's from, UN troops down to the local police. Okay, it's going to be a lost battle because they're more than armed, heavily armed with things that some of us can't imagine. But there's going to be an uprising, especially when they start attacking that Second Amendment. All right. And, like I said, we see it coming. So, with that being said, once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala. We got next. Here again. Remember, our warfare is spiritual and not carnal. Okay, spiritual and not carnal. We're not to avenge ourselves. Wait upon the Lord. Shalom.